Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Quarantine and Chill. Today we're doing more of a glamorous look, a really nice bronzy smoky eye, if you will. Definitely one of my go-to looks. If anybody knows me, I love me a little smoky eye. I'm using the Anastasia Soft Glam Palette. So yeah, that's all the eyeshadow I have on my eyes. It's from that, and a little liner. So if you guys want to see how to get this look, just keep watching. Hi! So first, I'm just going to start by prepping my skin with some really bougie skincare. I'm using this Cle De Peau Day Moisturizer and just using this to moisturize. It's the key. Gotta moisturize before you do anything. And now I'm gonna do another bougie skincare, the Chanel Sublimage eye cream, just to prep my eye area so my concealer goes on nice and smooth. Just all around the orbital bone. And now I like to go ahead and prep my eyelids with eyeshadow primer before I do anything, just because I do my eyebrows first. And I will be going over my lid with concealer, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'm just gonna pop on a little lip balm, prep the lips. All the things are prepped. I always start with my eyebrows. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Lift in the color Rita. I love this brow pencil. I love the color. I feel like it's perfect for my brows. Just going over everything. Mainly go over like my arch and then underneath and just kind of fill it in. Nothing crazy. See, da-da-da. And ignore my dirty palette. If you guys own this eyeshadow palette, you know how dirty it gets because of the velvet packaging. So sorry it's not the most beautiful thing in the world to look at, but if you have this palette, you know. The struggle's real. Perfect. And now I'm just going to carve out my brows using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I always do this. It makes such a big difference in just making your brows look a lot cleaner. I also have a lot of redness on my lids, so I like to use this too to kind of neutralize my whole lid space. Just going above and underneath and then all over the lid. I've been using Latisse too, which is making like around my eyes I have a lot more redness than usual. So we definitely gotta conceal. I like to start with brows too because it just kind of frames the face. And concealing and concealing. Beautiful. And then if you ever like accidentally go over your brow too much with the concealer, you can just go back in with the pencil. Now, going into my dirty little palette, I'm going to start with Tempera, which is the lightest shade on the top left, and just go all over my lid. Just to highlight the brow bone and set the concealer that I just put down. I did end up going in with the bone color from the chocolate bar palette because my Tempera and my Anastasia palette is like pretty much gone, so you know. And then I'm just going to take, with a fluffy blending brush, I'm going to take Orange Soda, which is like a light orangey transition shade, and just throw it all in my crease. Now going in with Burnt Orange, I'm going to put that in my crease as well, but I'm just going to go a tiny bit lower. Just going back and forth right underneath where I put that Orange Soda shade. And I always like to start my brush on the outer corner, then blending inward, because that's where I want the most saturation of pigment to be, is in that outer corner. Just back and forth. Then I'm going to go back in with that first shade and just kind of blend those two colors together. Any smoky eye is always going to be like a lot of going back and forth. And now I'm going to take a little bit of a shorter fluffy brush and go in with Sienna, which is a really nice kind of warm reddish brown color, and just work it in that outer corner right underneath those two transition colors that we just used. And then back in with burnt orange to blend this together. The key with any smoky eye, no matter what colors you're using, always go the lightest shade to the darkest shade. And that just makes blending super duper easy. Now with my little brush, I'm gonna go in with, I couldn't decide at first if I was gonna go dark brown or black, but I went with black, noir. And I'm using a smaller brush because I'm just gonna, again, go in the outer corner, but keep it really low. I love using black. Don't be scared of black. And then just going right back in with that sienna shade just to blend that black in with all the other shades. Yeah, we might be here for a while. But when using dark colors, don't be scared. Just add a little bit, blend it out, and then you can always go back in and add more if you need to, but it doesn't have to be scary. Now I'm going in with a little bit of a dark brown Cypress Umber, and I'm using the same brush that I used earlier with the sienna shade. I'm just going right over that black just to make sure that everything is nice and blended. Then more black. Now I'm gonna do the lid. I'm taking the shade Glistening with a flat brush and just popping that all over the lid, well, in the first inner half of the lid. And then just going back in with another brush just to blend that lid shade and then all the crease colors all together, so there's no harsh lines. Ew, my palette is so dirty. I'm so sorry. God. Now I'm just gonna go in with the Kat Von D tattoo liner, and I'm just gonna first line my lid before we do a little wing. So when doing a wing, you just want to pretend like your lower lash line is just being extended. I know it can be scary. Don't worry. And then one little trick that will be your best friend is a Q-tip and some eyeshadow primer if you need to like clean up anything, if your line's not completely sharp enough, or if you have any like bumps or dips or whatever. A Q-tip and eyeshadow primer is perfect, especially if you messed up anything on like the top of your liner and you take off a little bit of your eyeshadow. Your that area will be primed. So if you need to like go back in with more shadow, you'll be good to go. And I love this Kat Von D eyeliner because honestly, the little brush tip makes it so easy. See? Let's grab our Q-tip. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit more of the noir color, the black, and just kind of smoke over that liner. Which is also a really good trick. If you did mess up your eyeliner, just make it a little smoky. Fixes everything. Perf. Now we're just giving the lashes a little curl. We're gonna throw on some Ardell 113s. Just measuring. Perfect. On to skin. I'm just using the Laura Mercier Radiance Primer, one of my faves, all over. And we're going to do a drugstore foundation today. Crazy. The L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. If you're in the market for a drugstore foundation, this one's actually bomb. It's so pretty. It stays on. Gives really like good like medium to full coverage. Natural finish. I'm just throwing that on with my beauty blender. Making sure we're nice and even. Now, my trusty Shape Tape, my favorite. Just going underneath the eyes, down the nose. Just like this, all the center parts of the face. Oh, almost forgot the forehead. Now just going back in with my concealer brush, just going over everything just to make sure everything's nice and blended. Sometimes it's hard to fit your beauty blender in that inner corner, so I always like to go back in with a brush just to kind of blend it all in. Perfect. Sorry, that's so disgusting. It's the RCMA no color powder. I'm gonna use that. I always use that to set my under eyes. And if you have that powder, you know that it lasts freaking forever. So the packaging of it's disgusting. And now I'm taking the Sephora collection, the baked MicroSmooth powder, which is also one of my favorites to set my face, just because it sets it enough so my bronzer won't skip, but it's not gonna make me like super matte, and it's not gonna make me look dry. And now bronzer, my favorite part. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow medium to dark. I love this bronzer so much. I've gone through about 1 million of those. I get very bronzer happy. It's really probably my favorite part of makeup. See, I feel like it just like pulls everything together. It's See, I start to get happy when I start putting bronzer on. Love it. Okay. Now, a little bit of contouring. This is Anastasia contour palette in the medium to dark shade, because in my head I'm always way more tan than I am. So I'm just gonna go over all the places I put the bronzer just with a smaller brush, and I'm just going in with my RCMA color powder right underneath that bronzer just to clean it up just a little bit. Just a tiny bit of baking. Never hurt anybody. Let that sit for a second while we put on blush. This is Charlotte Tilbury blush in the shade Ecstasy. It's a really pretty, like, peachy pink. Goes with everything. Just popping that on my cheeks. Almost dropped something as usual. This is the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. I love this so much. It's one of my favorites. Around the cheekbones, nose, cupid's bow. Little on the chin. Little everywhere. Let's glow. I'm just gonna dust away that powder real quick. Oh my god, we're almost done. Now I'm gonna use this random little holiday palette from Too Faced because this is my favorite inner corner highlight shade these days. And I'm just gonna throw that in that inner corner. Because there's not really a good inner corner shade in the Soft Glam. Not gonna lie. But it's fine. Any type of light shade will work. And then I'm just gonna go back in underneath my lash line with the Sienna shade. One of the shades that we used in the crease before. And I'm just gonna throw a little bit of black eyeliner. I think this is like an old Sephora collection liner. So any type of black is fine. Just to give it a little bit more smokiness. And a little mascara for the lower lashes. I got some of my hair and it went on my cheek. It's fine. And this is the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in Hot Gossip. It's a really nice, like, kind of warm, neutral shade. Now, just gonna clean that up a little bit. And I'm gonna throw on Tom Ford lipstick in Sable Smoke. And then a little bit of Fenty gloss. So why not? This is probably my signature look, I will say. Perf. She's ready. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know if there's anything specific that you guys want to see. I am enjoying doing these videos because sitting down and doing my makeup is making me feel a little bit normal. Yeah, so hopefully now that I'm all glammed up, I can do something productive in my house because that's all I can do. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching again, and I'll see everybody soon.